Alright guys, as much requested, I actually wasn't going to do this. I was just gonna let my deck list be posted online, but it seems people can't wait. I think they want it now, so I mean I kind of want to talk about the regionals anyway. Yep, so let's see. First let me explain why I ran this deck. I know not a lot of people like this deck. I was planning to run ZTB, but the thing was, right now, the meta, most tops, most wins, ZTB Battle Sister. So I need to make a deck against that. And this is as anti-meta as it gets. It's designed, it's teched, there's a lot of one-ups. But the thing is, if I know that Link Joker's kind of died out. I didn't face a single one. I saw maybe one or two, day two maybe. And yeah, that's what I was banking on, and I was right. So let's get started. First of all, get the starter, rookie Gina. You know what she does. She goes into Soul. You can start your graveyard engine, possibly get a key or a combo piece. It's a really good card. Next, I'm gonna go from 3s to triggers. So next is my 4 grade 3s. Prisoner Dragon. It's a slash shade, but the cost is you have to retire grade 2 or higher, and it gets plus 2k, so it's a 13k. It's great early game, it's great mid game, late game is also good. It makes it 13k by himself. So if you boost him with the 7k as 20, you can hit 9s, you get 10s. Or even if they ride up maybe a 8k Vanguard or the grade 2, you can punish that with just himself, and that's a 10k guard. And you know, God forbid you have to ride him just to stride if you know your opponent doesn't run Sea Breeze, or they're grade stuck, or you're playing a mirror match. Okay. Grade 2s. Self-explanatory. 8-7C grade 2s. All graveyard engine. These all work from the grave. I wish there was a grade 3 or 1 version of her. Alright, let's see. 7C grade 1 targets. We only have 9 in total now. Now this card's amazing. When I damage this card, my game is significantly harder, no matter what, like automatic. This skill I don't use at all. This is usually my #1 ride choice. This skill's useless. I'll show you guys a couple of combos later. Yeah, so with this deck, this build, I was able to play out any situation. Like, literally. That's kind of insane. Even when my opponent wanna maybe like heal 3 times, I was able to just hang on thanks to this. Okay, let's see. So I actually used his effect once or twice in the regionals to save my ass. So what had happened was my Vanguard was at 11k. You know, he's fighting the deck correctly. And he just blasts my rear guards until I have nothing left. So I finally get him to 5. I don't have a field. I have 2 of these. I have 1 of these here. I have my Vanguard. Yeah. I have my Night Alert. That's my Vanguard. And I have one. I have 1 Witch Doctor left on the field, right? So 7k, 7k to 11k Vanguard. I can't hit. So what happened was I top deck 1. I activated his effect. I milled the grade 3, and I already had a grade 3 in the grave, so then I was able to call the grade 3 for a column. And then on top of that, I got a stand trigger, so that won me that game, which was surprising to get this effect off. Don't expect it too much, but like I said, situational, playing out situations. Next, I run 2 greedy mimics. The purpose of this card is, think about this. You know, you're running about 37C names, so you always have a target for Pillager or Spinel. But when you don't, you draw this guy. He's a 9k by himself, grade 1. You know, you make 16k columns with this guy. And yeah, that's like another 2 7C names pretty much. And you can also put him behind your Spinel. So when your Spinel dies, you just bump him up from the booster as a replacement. So you can moderate that. Next I run 3 Evil Shade, self-explanatory. it makes 17k columns for your Vanguard. You get to mill. All you do is mill 2 when your Vanguard hits, or when he attacks. I'm sorry, when he declares an attack, you use him to boost, and he gains his effect. You mill 2, and he gains +4, so he's a 10k booster. Amazing card. All right, now we're gonna reach my 1-ups. I only run Assault Soldier solely because I love using him as a free booster. So what I mean by that is I'm sorry, I mainly use them because to recycle the boosters. So for example, if my Vanguard is at 7k and I don't have Evil Shade, I'll usually put a draw trigger behind it to make it, you know, hittable. So what I would do is I would call Skeleton Soldier, and I would replace it with a Nitro or this card, and he'll go into bind, and you can guard with him in bind zone anytime as long as you declare holo. As soon as you call him, he'll go into bind, and you can guard with him anytime from the bind zone. So then that's already plus. So he's out here, so that's pretty good. And this guy, Deadly Nightmare, this guy saved my ass so many times, where I would call Performing Zombie and just have janky columns like 13, 14, and just recycle this. He's pretty much like a mini Nitro. He's really good. What he does is you Soul Blast 2, and you retire a unit, any unit I believe, yeah, any unit, and you call it anywhere you want after that. So what you can do is, say for example you have a janky trigger as a booster, right? So it's 4k booster, not much. So what you can do when you start to push, you can replace this from the grave to activate his effect, replace him, give +2 to your spinels. You can Soul Blast to call him, and then recycle it back. And God forbid, if you do have enough soul, you can do it again. And then you can replace it to make it bigger column. So that's already +6 to both your spinels. That's before the Slash Shade or skills or Prisoner Dragon. Yep, pretty good. Grade Zeros are next. Alright. For Chappie, pretty standard. I run 4 10k guard, early good shield, as well as any combo piece you want in the grave. Or God forbid, you just want to thin out your deck and just get like something useless out there, like a Mimic late game, like an extremely late game, or something like that, just to make it all triggers, or try to increase your chance of getting a trigger. Yeah, Chappie's really good. Night Runner, my 1-up because you can only run 1. This card's great. It's 10k boost. You can do a lot with this. You can have it as a guard. You can always just guard with it early and just put it in the grave, and then they'll just mill 4 for you, and you get a free call, and you replace it with either a Deadly Nightmare or a Nitro. So that's pretty awesome. Alright, triggers. I run 8 crits. So 4 Banshees. This is why I can run Deadly Nightmare, because of Deadly Banshee. Plus the starter. That's already 2 soul. So, yep, 8 crits. I didn't crit much this tournament, to be honest. They're mainly defensive triggers, but I did get them when they counted at times. Next, I run 4 draw. You see, the really good players, experienced players, they know how to fight this deck. They know how to dismantle this deck. So as a hard counter, there's 4 draws. What happens is when I get a defensive trigger, I can draw into a 7C name to set up. If they blast my field and just neuter my resources, I have draw triggers. Either that, or I can just trigger through a drive check. That would be nice. Draw a card, and that's already 2 names, potential 2 couple pieces, so 2 names for 7Cs. I wish there was more 7C draws. I'd probably consider that. Last trigger is Performing Zombie. Look at top 10, and then you just pitch 1 to the grave and then shuffle back the rest. Really good card. So essentially you're looking at 20-25% of your deck when you play this card. So you will get a combo piece, and if you don't, then I mean there's other ways. My stride zone's not important. It's mainly fillers, just to have a G zone. But I do run them just because I might, or if I had to G assist or not, and which I did once in a tournament. You know, or God forbid I play a mirror match and maybe I'll write up to 3, take a gamble and go into ghosty, finish him off. Or either that, or I'm forced to write to 2. You know, situations like that. You gotta know how to play at your situations. So if you know your opponent doesn't have any draws, you memorize their hand or drive checks and you know the progression of the game. You write to 2, you wait for your moment, and once you cripple your opponent enough, then you write to 3 and you save up your stride. You stride into ghosty, activate his effect, mill the 3, and just go for game. Triple drive. You will never expect it. Alright guys, that's the whole deck list. So now I'm just going to talk about the regionals a little bit. Anaheim, this was the best event I've ever been to. It's amazing. It was fast. It was nice, easy, smooth. The judges were nice, the players were nice. And I want to give a special shout out to all the guys in top 8. It was almost like we were all friends. Like everybody was friendly, everybody was nice, everybody got along. And it was a great experience. This was actually my official first top 8, let alone winning the whole regionals. But yeah, it was nice because this is a good redemption for me, because in GrandFest, you guys know I got 9th, so I was the bubble boy, and that was held over me for quite a while until this event. I felt really bad, and I practiced really freaking hard ever since, and I guess it paid off, and I just, with a little bit of luck, I was able to take the throne. So I mean, I'm not trying to sound cocky or anything, but I'm really happy about the results, and I think I've earned it. And yeah, shoutouts to all the top 8. Everybody played really well, like Nikki and everybody I played, Nikki and David and everybody. It was great. Like it was like good games all around. I sweated playing all of them. All right, so my favorite thing about this new day 2 format is if you do make it to day 2 with X1, you know, you have a chance. And the thing is, it's going to be a best of 3 for 3 games of Swiss, or 3 rounds of Swiss. And I feel like this deck is nearly unbeatable in sets. Like, you'd have to dismantle this deck twice. And by that time, I may have already changed up the strategy to adjust to your gameplay. So yeah, this deck, oh man, for sets, it was great. I went 6-1 day 1. Day 2, I won all 3 sets, going to top 8. It's funny because when I got 9th, I looked behind the podium. The top 8 players, they were concealed in this little place, and I was so jealous because it was so cool. They had their little section monitored by judges, and they got to play it out for first. So it was kind of surreal just being there, in there. But yeah, it was fun. And then before you know it, I was already in the finals, playing for, you know, first. It all happened so quickly. I guess the downside is in top 8, they give you an extra 10 minutes. So instead of 50, you get 60 minutes to play one set. So for me, my games are quick. So maybe I'll die quickly or I'll lose quickly. Not super quickly, but, you know, before the time limit. So, you know, I played my opponent. Our match was over like in 20 minutes. So I had to sit around for 40 minutes in the top 8 set area. I couldn't leave. I had to just sit there and just watch for 40 minutes, which was okay because, I mean, how can you complain? You're there. Yeah, so as I was saying, it was a redemption for me for getting 9th and just feeling awful for months and thinking that was my last chance to make top 8, and that was my moment. The thing is, if you just keep grinding, playing well, and with a little bit of luck, you'll get there. There are a couple guys that went X2, still made it. So, I mean, there's hope. Just keep practicing, keep trying. It's really good. It's really cool to see. Yeah, okay, so my event, so I came up with my group. Unfortunately, they had to go home early, but I want to give a quick shout out to AJ, Paulo, Eugene, Ed, and Hiroshi. Those guys took me in their hotel last minute, gave me a place to sleep, drove me to my car and to the event, made my experience great. So thank you guys, love you guys. And shout outs to Joshua Axel, he's from Team PGG, I think. Yeah, He's a previous champion, the Grand Fest champion, the one I got 9th in, and I was so envious of him, like just being the champ. He was actually so nice to me, and he took me out to eat, which was awesome. He's a super awesome guy if you meet him. Yeah, so next time you guys see him, just say hi, you know, just tell him what's up. Follow his channel, Joshua Axel. Alright guys, so Team Metastorm, go ahead and follow us as well. Subscribe if you can. I can answer any questions. I can work on any requests over time if you give me some time, as long as they're reasonable. But yeah, yeah, that's it. That's all I have to really say. It was a great experience. One of the best highlights of my entire life. Alright, see you guys in Worlds. Alright, goodbye.